116th Hotline.
It's your girl Sadie.
It's Valerie.
And this is Sutana. Welcome back to our podcast. Or if this is your first time listening to us, this is 116th Hotline. We are a
Trio
of
sisters.
And we talk about
anything and everything. Ooh, I think that's our new
anything, everything.
Our intro. Yeah, I feel like we say almost the same thing each time. So I think that's it.
Keep it the same.
Yeah, that'll be our intro. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much again for clicking, for listening, for watching, for thinking about us and coming to us.
Yes.
And listening and watching. I'm gonna go ahead and start today's topic, and Tatiana and Sadie are putting me on the spot to start the topic.
Spotlight. Seriously, yes.
So challenging myself to contribute more to 116. But okay. Awkward laugh and not awkward laugh. Okay. So I saw this thing from another podcast. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was from a guy's perspective about this topic. And I know we've talked about this kind of somewhat a little bit. So I wanted to poke our own brains about it.
Unpack it.
Yeah, I wanted to unpack it. So let's unpack that. So
unpack that.
So you guys know how people say oh yeah, these are my day ones, right? Mm-hmm. What about day twos?
Ooh.
Day twos.
Wait, you saw this from a Up Guys podcast? Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Because when you think about it, they were explaining it day ones are they were saying that day ones are the people that you were forced to be around with your environment, people that you grew up with, you didn't choose them to be in your life, they were just there. Day twos are people that you chose to become friends with as an adult. Day twos for me is Shelby, Anna, Nikki.
Yeah.
You know, those are my day twos.
Right,
you know,
right.
Those are my ride or dies. I can go to them for anything, and I know that they got me.
Right.
But they're not considered my day ones, and I hope that they don't take offensive to that. But day ones are
grow up with them.
day ones are like Sadie, she was just there.
Right.
She was just there, and we was kids, and so Sadie's my day one. Mm-hmm. You know.
Right.
Thinking back to any age younger, I don't think I have any day ones because it was I don't talk to anybody that I went to school with or that I grew up with as a child. Yeah, because I live in a different state now than I did whenever I was younger.
Ooh, right. Okay.
So day ones, I would my day ones I would just consider Sadie.
And I think it's hard too because you said we're in a totally different state.
We're in a different state.
So it's do you keep that also brings up the question do you still keep in contact with your childhood
or with your used to be day ones, you know? I think if we still lived in Wisconsin, I would probably say and if we did still live there and if I was still talking to those people, I would probably say my day ones would probably be Andrea because I still talk to her on social media, and I went to elementary school with her, middle school with her before we moved down to Oklahoma, but I still talk to her every now and then, but not stop looking at her toes.
I need to go get them done. They're getting so long.
No, I'm just...
What?
Second toes right here. Insert clip. No, just no free pick.
No, because her second toe's bigger than her first.
You know what my mom said?
That's good luck or something.
No. My mom said that if your second toe is longer than your first one, that means you're very patient. Because
that's
no wonder. I'm exactly. I am a patient person. Anyway,
I forgot. I'm
but then yours is
why is your
slanted?
Yeah, I was why is your toe curling in it? And I was oh god damn.
Shut the fuck.
My feet are so cute.
Today toes are short and stubby. Okay.
Okay. Oh, pig leaf. Mine are pig leaves too, though.
I'm gonna put
pig leaves.
Not of your actual toes,
a visual of the ones that. No, seriously, yeah. My mom's is not like that though, but my dad and I's we have the second one that's longer. That's why we're so patient, dude.
So Andrea, I still talk to her on social media and stuff, and Cynthia and Aaron, they actually hang out with Andrea and them. Okay. So they live in the same city. So
love that.
I feel me and Andrea do still talk. So I think if we were still living in the same state, we would be friends and still hang out all the time. But it's just hard to keep in contact with friends that you don't live in the same state with, especially because we were friends at a younger age. Yep. Mm-hmm. So now as an older age, as an adult, it's easier to keep in contact with because you're an adult, and even though you live in different states and stuff. But Sadie would be considered my day one because I've known her since I was little,
14,
younger,
13,
14,
14,
14, And then my day twos, I would consider like Shelby, Anna, Nikki, you know, like Tony and Sean and Cal, and then, you know, like they're my day twos, because I know that like if I needed anything, like I know that they got me. Or like they would try to help me as much as they can, you know. And like that just got me thinking, like, damn, like I've never seen it as that, like day one or day twos, like, because you only hear about those are my day ones. People don't be like, those are my day twos, you know, like people don't say that.
But then again, I don't think they see it in like that perspective.
Right.
But then like think about it in that perspective though.
What podcast was that?
I don't even remember.
You don't remember?
It was two guys talking about it, and then I was thinking, I was like, damn, like this would be a good topic to talk about, because like I always talk about it too, how like as an adult it's so much harder to make friends.
It is.
Because everyone has their circle already,
like an established friend group.
And it's like, for people that like have never experienced like trying to make friends as an adult, like it's hard.
It is.
Like whenever we moved to Minnesota, I was like, I think 18 or 19. I knew nobody there. Like it was hard to have friends. So like the only friends that I had was people that I worked with. And it was hard to like have somebody to fall back onto, or knowing that I had like people that got me, because I didn't have anybody that got me. And so that's why like now as an adult, when I see new people like coming into town, or whenever I see like people that like just moved here or like don't have friends, I try to reach out, because I know what it's like trying to make friends as an adult. And it's hard because I know people got their own circle already. Like we got our own circle, you know, like I know what it's like not having a circle. So I try to be friendly and I try to like pull people in.
Welcoming.
And I know that's like a
cliche.
Not cliche. It's kind of like a good and bad thing, because like you don't really know
people.
True intentions.
You don't really know people's true intentions. And like me,
it's like a blessing and a curse for you.
Blessing and a curse, because it's like I'm gonna try to be nice and try to make you feel like welcomed, and like make you feel like you got a friend to rely on, and like make you feel comfortable. But then it's like that could backfire on me, and it has backfired on me before
many times.
And I know Satana hates that about me, but then it's like I know what it's like, and I know it sucks so bad to make friends as an adult.
Okay, compassion.
Yes, period.
Love it.
But so my thing is like day ones and day twos. Like how would you break it down, like in your head, like, you know what I mean? Like, because whenever you think about it like that, it really like opens up another category.
Absolutely. I never thought of it that way before.
Because your day ones is like your aunties that you grew up with.
I was just literally saying that. I was gonna say, if in that case, then my day ones would definitely be like my family, because like I know I've mentioned to you guys that my family members, a lot of my aunties, they're all my age. My cousins, we're all like born in the same year, within the same year of each other. So they are considered like I said, growing
pretty much
up,
your sisters.
My sisters. I never thought of them as my aunties or my cousins. We were more like friends, because as growing up, when you grow up, you're like kids. You're in the same age, so you're like, oh, she's my best friend. I'm her best friend, but in reality we're just literally relatives. But then I think it's so much in the same age group, so I view them as my friends, and of course they would be considered my day ones, because like we just did everything together, literally everything together.
That's just because those are the people you grew up around with, and like
were just automatically in my environment already. So and it's also the fact that we're so close in age, it really drew us together. So now as adults we still talk, and I'm you know still very, very close. And then we talk on a daily basis. We have like a whole group chat and everything. So in that case, that they would be considered my day ones. I will also consider obviously Leslie and for some my day ones, because like in
those were your people when you were here,
when I moved here to Oklahoma, or in Owasso, but Oklahoma in general.
Whoa, don't drop the city. I'm just kidding.
Don't drop
the city.
Oh, everybody knows already. But when I moved to Oklahoma here, like I grew up around them, you know, so then like I didn't necessarily choose them either. We were just both in the same environment, you know, and then we just became, you know,
you guys just meshed together.
We meshed together. So those would be considered my day ones as well. Honestly, a lot of my friends, I've known them, and then I met you guys when I was like 14, 15.
You were young, and
I was literally younger too. So yes, I would consider definitely y'all my day ones too, because we all grew up. I feel like in the separation between day one and day two is that day ones are the ones that you pretty much grew up with, like, you know, at a younger age.
And still keep in contact with.
Still keep in contact with. Now, day twos, I guess, in my definition, would be more of like you meet
met
them
as an adult.
or as an adult, and you know, you guys are still you guys grew up.
But like Valerie said, also people that you can rely on, that you know that they got you.
We will still,
what that guy was saying is day ones is the people that you can be like, oh, remember back in the day, like stuff that you can reflect on. That's like what he like described day ones like versus day ones and day twos. Day ones you can like talk on. I'd be like, remember when we used to do this? Or,
well, I guess that would relate to Sadie's definition.
Yeah. Like a
the ones you grew up with,
and then day twos are like people like now adulthood where you like actually plan stuff and do stuff with them like day to day stuff.
So here's a question for us to unpack. Okay, so how would you consider, I mean, just because of the word day one and day two, would you consider one or the other more valuable and or that's a hard one, because I'm just now thinking, in my opinion, yes, in a way, but at the same time I equally love them all.
I say equally valuable, but I say day ones, it's equally valuable in their own ways, but day ones, it's just more core memories.
Yes.
Because there is a lot that you can reflect back on and like look back on and like know that you guys can still talk like shit never like left, you know? And then day twos is like, day twos are like people that like you speak with every day still. That like present moment, present time, more and like you guys plan things in the future to do like hangouts and stuff like that. And I feel like they are equally as important and equally as valuable, but I think day one is more sentimental.
Yes, absolutely.
I think each group has their own contribution to you as a person.
Yes.
Because it's like like for example, your day ones, they may not necessarily be here, right? You know, in this physical space that you're occupying. Right. So maybe that's whenever. I'm not saying that that's where day twos like replace them, but that's where you get to your day twos, because it's like they're there for you in your adulthood, because the day ones
and the present
can't always be here. You know what I mean?
And,
so it's like
in the case that we're talking about, a lot of our day ones are, like you said, they're not in the physical form. Like physically, my aunties and them, they're like in out of states. Leslie's out of state, So, but then I mean, like you said, they still play a very huge role and factor to who you are as a person today,
and how you grew up to be, and all that.
And they're still there, yes, but just like you said, just I guess not more of a.
It's harder because they're not physically close. So for me, my day ones, obviously would be you guys, because childhood.
Satana is considered day zero because
I know
she's my sister.
But then not all sisters get along, so it's like we chose to mesh. I feel like we really
see it like that.
Yeah, I feel like we chose to mesh.
I never ever thought of it that way. But then now that you mentioned that, I think about my other cousins that are sisters. I remember them growing up. Some of them really don't get along. They don't. Which is so, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't have sisters. Ugh, I hate it here. But I mean, so that's why I don't really know how it is to have like actual sisters in your household. I mean, I have brothers, and you're right. I guess I don't get along with my brothers.
Let's just say it's just like you and Andy.
Pretty much. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. We'll just so
it's the same concept. Okay, same concept. Like as siblings, sometimes you don't get along.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get along. That's why I will say like that's true. Me and Val are sisters, but we are chosen friends. Like we chose to be friends because it's like not all sisters get along. Okay. So they'll be my day ones, and then obviously I would like. I have a lot of childhood friends from Wisconsin, but I feel like they're not. I'm not going to consider them my day ones because I feel like when I grew out of that, when we moved here, it's just like we never kept in touch. It's like
off.
I have some of those too.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. So I would say my other day one would be Kiki. I grew up with her.
Oh yeah,
we keep in touch over social media, but it's like she was one of the ones that I also grew up with at McDonald's and like all that stuff. But I would say my day twos that I choose is like Jenny, Neri Nude Skin. I love her.
Neri Nude. She always comes.
Yeah, met her through Tulsa Hot Girl Walks. Like I love her. Another day two would be Rachel. I just met her. Last year. Like I love her.
Very supportive too.
She's awesome. Like. Those are the type of day twos. Yeah.
Nolly.
Okay, I forgot about Nolly. Nolly, I feel like Nolly would definitely be considered a day one. Yeah. Because we also grew up with her too. Yeah. So it's like
Nolly's definitely
she's someone that I still keep in touch with. And I would also say Mama Ka. Like although we don't talk like every day, like she like you said, like it's like like back in the day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
and it's like if you genuinely need, like if you call them right now, and be like, hey, I'm short $100.
Like I need help.
Can you help me out?
They'll try their best.
That
just knowing how they are as a person, like how genuine they are. That's like what makes them your considered day one.
Yeah,
like
and I think
support.
And I think also like going back to what you said about when you get to adulthood, how much harder it is to make friends. It is, and I also think that has a lot to do with like your childhood, right? Like what things you grew up knowing or not knowing, and then kind of like how you protect yourself in a way, because it's like you don't want to like re-traumatize yourself with like the same scenarios, but now in adulthood.
Or rejection.
So I think, and then I also think just being judged in general, it's like you don't know how people perceive you or how you're going to be perceived, you know, by the way you act or by the way you talk. So I also think like going into adulthood, it is hard to make friends, but I think it's important to try to be yourself and like, you know, don't be so different. I think
just to make friendships.
I chase. I don't chase. I attract.
Period. Yeah.
That's what Kendall Jenner said on this.
I don't chase. I attract.
So do you guys think that another question that we can unpack is, do you guys think that there is necessarily a bad thing about having too many friends? Like
here's okay, that's a good
okay.
question.
I think me personally, let me talk.
Let me go first.
Me personally, I don't think there's a problem with having too many friends, but I think you know what category friends, like you have different friends for different things.
Ooh.
Like different categories.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Example, like I have
Exhibit A.
Like I wouldn't say friends, I would say acquaintances.
Yes.
Because like for the people that are listening, that like if you don't know the difference between friends and acquaintances, like reevaluate everybody you hang out with, and then ask yourself, like, is this person my friend or just somebody I hang out with, an acquaintance? Like, do I just or just somebody I know? Because I feel like people use the word friend very
loosely.
Yeah.
Very, very loosely, and it's like, are you guys friends or are you guys just acquaintances? Like, it's okay to just be acquaintances, but I think people, when they use the word acquaintance, it makes them feel like there's
almost in a stranger,
like in a stranger
no personal connection,
no personal connection. So I would say like a lot of the people I play volleyball with, they're just my acquaintances. Like they're just my volleyball acquaintances. Like I just play volleyball with them, and I get along with them and we play volleyball. But like friends, I would say like definitely Sean and Tony are my friends. Like I can definitely call them for anything. Like they will help me like bring stuff upstairs to my apartment if the shit's too heavy. Like I would consider Jenny Fo, I would consider her my friend. We were acquaintances at first, and like getting to know her, like I love her personality, like we click well, and I personally would consider Jenny now my friend.
So it's very much possible to obviously start with acquaintances, and
I feel like everybody honestly should just start with acquaintances like that, because you never really know somebody until you know
shit hits the fan.
Until shit hits the fan.
Like, no, really. How are you gonna react? How is this person gonna handle this scenario?
Yeah.
And that tells you a lot about how a person is.
I think my problem though is like I let people cross over that line too easily from acquaintances to friends, and then that shit always backfires on me. And
remember that little stupid video of the guys podcast and the guys in the background making like the agreeing like
oh my god. But so I feel like I let people cross over that line too easily. So now I'm more aware, and I have my walls up more. But Jenny, definitely, I really appreciate Jenny as a friend, and I'm glad that she moved here. I'm glad that, like, you know, she comes out now to volleyball. Like we hang out a lot more because she's dating Sean, and like she's a really good friend,
like a genuine,
and like I know really that good. Like if I needed something, I know that she will try to help me as much as she can to like help me with whatever I'm struggling through or like needing help with. So Jenny, if you're listening, shout out to you. But I really do like Jenny. Like she's a good friend. I'm happy that she's here. But definitely I think everybody should reevaluate the differences between acquaintances and friends. And I never really thought about the word acquaintances until Joe, our brother.
Really? Is that what you said?
Because he whenever I talk to him about stuff like that, because we talk about like different things, he's always like, are you guys friends or acquaintances? And then like I used to always think like, why do you use that word? Like
but you're right, like earlier when you said when you use that word, it's kind of like, it's like, oh, you don't actually have like a personal connection.
I'm like, I don't know,
which you really don't if you think about it. Yes, these people.
Yes,
I'm just like, I don't know, they're just my friends.
Boundaries, you know?
And he's like, no, he's like, are they your friend and or are they your acquaintances? I'm like, bro, I was like, same shit. legit? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh wait, and I was like, damn. I was like, let me think about it.
You sound
the math is mathing now.
You sound so much like him when you try to imitate him. You're like, oh, they're friends.
Exactly, because that's literally what he'd be saying.
That's how he sounds.
Because he's like, you're always saying everybody's your friends, but are you guys friends or acquaintances? And I was like,
tell him, Joe.
I was like, I don't know. And like Joe is like always like on my back like that because he knows how how
you are.
Honestly, your brother does have some pretty wise words.
And
then he's the oldest, ain't he?
Yeah, he's the oldest. And then every time I go back to him and tell him something, he'll be like, I told you so.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, shout outs.
What were you gonna say, Sadie?
Oh yeah. Okay, so the main question was, do you think the
difference between a queen? Oh,
do you think it's too many friends?
Too many friends.
Too many friends. Okay, so I'll answer that, and then we'll talk about the acquaintances too quickly. Recap. So. In my opinion, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I was very much like Val growing up because I'm just such a social butterfly. So
me too.
Like if I see, and I will have to say, I think it all goes back to the original Hmong OG girls, Naichu, Chow, all of them, the Yang girlies.
They really influenced me a lot.
Very much so. Because when we first moved here, just like Val and Satiana, when I first moved here, and meeting them through Jenny, obviously DJ JPY. So they were just so welcoming. Knowing that I'm brand new to Oklahoma, I'm a little Hmong girl, I'm by myself, so they even invited me and my cousin Paku, like Cow and Naichu would come and pick us up just to take us to the mall, to show us around. So I love that. I really love that because they really made us feel welcomed, to Oklahoma. Yeah. So I feel like I was influenced by that. So I was very much to spread that. Yes. To what's the word? There's a word to it. Pass it on or just pay it forward, so I was really influenced on that. And then so whenever I see people like new Hmong girls, new faces, or just anybody in general, I try to welcome them and I introduce myself, and I'm so social. I'm like trying to be there for everybody. And then I guess you know me as a person. I feel empath, and then just like really want to make everybody feel comfortable, So
that's
that
really
was very much me growing up as a young adult, but then as a kid to a young adulthood. But now as an adult, I think I'm just so much more protective of my energy now, and I think we've talked about that before. So like Val said, sometimes you never really know people's true intentions. So it might backfire on you. And I mean, granted, I've never really had any bad experiences. I mean, quite honestly. But then, I mean, now I'm just like, now that I'm older, I really want to just spend a lot of my energy on me. And like I said before, I attract. So I don't really want to do the chasing. Like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that?
That's me though. I want to make people feel comfortable,
and that's okay. Like, and that's okay
let's
too.
Go hang out. Okay, like, do you want to come over?
But that brings me to a point. It's like you need to be aware. Like for me, I feel like these two have a lot more friends, and I think because they're more like
very, very just social,
more sociable. But for me, it's like I'm very careful who I let my energy around, because it's like,
and there's a lot of people like that too.
Because it's like I don't want everybody, and I think it's important, maybe because I think it's my own personal traumas, but it's like but like allowing certain people to have access to me. It's like I think that's also important, going back to the energy, because it's like protecting your peace, because it's like not everyone should have access to you.
I have I have something to throw it out there though. Do you feel like you are like that because of your experiences?
Of course.
See,
of like walls up, guarded.
Yeah, because you've experienced.
Or do you just feel like you're so valuable that like
I think it's a little bit of both, because I think it's like I've had traumas in the past, like not like bad friendship trauma, but it's just like I feel like almost like mysterious in a way, because it's like no one should, like not everyone should be able to have access to me. If you have access to me, the way I see it is like, if you have access to me, then it's because it's a privilege.
It is
because it's a privilege. Like that's what I'll say to Valerie, like you allow people to have so much access to you.
I do.
It's like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's like like going back to the energy, like Sadie said, like that's you got to keep that energy, like like, I feel like it's your own aura, your own space.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It is. The crazy thing is, it always happens to be this way. It's like we got the like
good medium.
No, I'm the medium.
And I'm the
extreme, and you're like the other
she's like the other end. I'm one end. Sadie's in the middle.
I'm like in the middle.
Well, because it's just like that's what makes it so cool though, because like three different perspectives. But I think that's why we all balance each other out, because it's like
absolutely.
It's like,
because imagine if we were all either like you or me, like we would be like, wait,
Hold on, one of us is
I like the idea that we all have different personal experiences and opinions and thoughts on about everything.
Okay, just a sidetrack. Back to talking about Naichu and like the original Hmong girls here. I remember the exact moment when I decided to become like them. Like when I decided to like be friendly like them was whenever we were all working at McDonald's and they had to come over to our McDonald's and I was on break eating and DW Chow. Oh my god!
I know.
She all of a sudden she came and sat down next to me while I was eating lunch by myself and started talking to me. And you know how they used to talk with like their accent.
Oh my god!
Yes. And then like Naichu came and talked to me too, and they were just sitting there talking to me. And I was like a little girl eating my French fries on break, and they were like so talkative and just talking to me. And in my head, I was like, why are they talking to me? I'm like, I don't even know them. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. But I was just like eating. But then like that feeling of like them wanting me to feel comfortable and like welcome. I was like literally like I shit you not, from that moment on was when I decided that I wanted to be just like them. Like friendly and open just like them and make them feel comfortable. And I feel like that very day and that very moment has like stuck with me till this day. Like I remember exactly that moment, like Chow wearing her blue freaking McDonald's shirt, like sitting
16 shirt.
Oh my god, the button-up ones.
Yes, the blue button-up ones. Like I remember it like it was yesterday, because that moment I think was like one of the life-changing moments that has stuck with me till this day as an adult. So yeah,
I think it goes. It should. It say a lot that it's like little moments like that can change someone's life, and it's like you never know. So just be your authentic self, and it's like that and just little
be kind
moment,
and be nice.
Yeah, like that little moment inspired you to be more sociable, and you're like, look where you are now. So now should we blame them because
blame you guys for me being so nice. Yes. All jokes. I feel like I'm a social butterfly, and I do like try to make people comfortable, and like if I just met you and you don't have any friends here, I'll be like, yeah, just come hang out with us, like come do this and that, which I know is like bad because like you really do never know people's true intentions,
especially nowadays.
Yes. But then like I'm just thinking like, man, if that was me, like I want somebody to like invite me to go hang out, like especially like if I just moved here or like I don't know anybody, but to each their own.
That's why I guess
you live and you learn. That's blessing and a curse.
And I love that too, like so like about Val saying that she's very, very social. She wants to go and approach them first, but like I said, I used to be like that, but here's a great example. When Val and I went to Minnesota to play flag football, and we didn't know any of the girls, obviously. We only knew them through the chat, but we never met them. So we got there, and I'm like, should I go introduce myself, or should I just wait for them to do it? And they didn't. But then the other girl, gosh, I forgot her name already. I'm sorry.
Which girl?
I forgot. I cannot believe
Nancy.
No, not Nancy, but the one that would play online.
The one that was teaching you.
That was teaching me. I forgot her name, sorry, but she came up to me first, and then she's like, hey, my name is, and I'm like, oh, okay. So like I said, attract rather than approach and chase.
She don't want to chase.
I don't want to chase, so she came up to me. So then I reciprocated the energy, and then like slowly I'll walk by people and I'll be like, okay, they're looking at me, okay, so they're making eye contact. Then I'm like, hey, my name is Sadie, blah, blah. And then the energy gets transferred. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like that type of situation, because sometimes it's kind of hard because I'm such a social butterfly like Val. Sometimes I'm like holding myself back. Like,
me? Oh my god, me! I was already like busting jokes and like laughing, like talking just being
I wasn't there, but Val was probably like, hey, y'all trying to go out and drink later?
Yeah, no, I was like,
what house party are we going to?
No, that's like, literally me. Like I'm just like a loud social butterfly. Like I'm just like, yeah,
but that's okay. But then, like honestly, like I said, it's I don't know why I always find something deep into everything we talk about, because when you really think about it, it really draws back to your personal past experiences, right? Like for what I'm just thinking out loud right now. Val was so much very social because in the past 10 years she's been. She couldn't. She was stuck in her
mind blown moment. Oh my god!
You know, sometimes I forget that.
That's what I'm saying.
Me too.
And I keep telling.
Wait a minute, bro. My mind is literally blown right now.
You're like, oh, that's why she's so hip right now.
Yes, because see, that's what I keep telling Tatiana that the reason why Val is so social now,
she never got that.
She never had the chance to do it.
My mind is blown right now.
We've lived through that.
We've done it, but through our little young adulthood.
I forgot.
But Val never had the chance to. So now that Val's kind of like has more freedom,
I'm not locked down no more.
But then now, I broke the chain. So now she's finally, she's getting the chance to be out there, like like to go
and just being my genuine self. Yeah.
Because granted, if she wasn't, her lifestyle wasn't how it was 10 years ago, she would have been exactly like us now too. She would be kind of like settling down more.
Oh my gosh, literally.
But now she's toning down. Yeah. But now she's like at her peak where, I want to do this. I'm gonna go and explore, and love that for you.
No, honestly, like I understand what you're saying from, because I feel like after I did get married, like I was a totally different person.
You were?
Like I was really a totally different person, and I was not. You
I felt like get married when you were.
I got married when I was 17. So it was like it was like the peak of figuring your, not the peak, but like the beginning of figuring.
You were a child, bitch.
Yeah, and I feel like really when I did get married, I didn't develop into who I was supposed to be.
Is totally like switched.
And I was married for almost 10 years, and then like like literally as soon as like we split up, I felt like a totally different person. Like I was finding myself and becoming more of myself and being my own person. So I guess I always knew that I was like social.
She's always been social.
I've always been social,
but that's the reason. Not had the freedom,
but did not have the freedom to be social during the past 10 years because I was locked down.
And that's the truth. She was
chained. The truth, baby. I was locked.
She was chained.
Locked. And y'all should have called 911. Y'all should have called 911, but y'all didn't. I was underage.
Jail. But you know what? Honestly, like I think about her lifestyle all the time and what all she went through,
and it makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's like honestly a little sad, but at the same time, it's like
cry.
I know. I was like, don't make me cry, because I will freaking cry thinking about her life. Like because her life,
I lived a sad life.
She sure did. But that's why now, whenever she does like a lot of things, I'm just like, you know what? Love that for you. Let her do it. You like now like. Take the opportunity and go experience it, because you never got the chance to. Yeah. But then just be careful and be aware of the things. Be cautious.
Her thing is, you're an adult.
Do what you want.
You do.
Sadie's gotten a lot better with that, though.
Yes.
Thank God.
Because I used to be very much like, oh my gosh, let me help you. Wait, are you okay?
And I'm like, Sadie, chill the fuck out.
I know, and even like my friend Leslie told me that too, and I'm like, shoot, you're right. I really gotta stop being.
I remember Leslie's like, she's an adult. She'll take care of it.
Yeah, seriously. So I really have to be like I was just so used to catering to everybody and wanting to pick up everybody every single time they phone. Very.
Oh my God! Cry! She's about to start the monthly.
I'm doing so good. I'm about to start. But then, like, very much so. Period. I am. That's why. But very much so, like, always trying to pick everybody up.
Yep.
And I got to pick up myself first.
Yes. Period.
But then, obviously, I'm still going to be there for everybody.
But you got to fill your own glass.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like we kind of went on a tangent, but
it goes full circle.
It does go full circle because we're talking about being a social butterfly and how now I'm just too open in the way I am because of my past.
Yes.
So it all connects. It all goes hand in hand.
Yes.
You don't need therapy. Just come here. Just sit down. Put your headphones in. Press play. Like.
What about you, Satiana? I know you mentioned a little bit, but how do you feel about extending like your friendship of friends?
I think I'm
from back then until now.
I think like starting last year, I think like after my whole like suicide attempt, I think after that I was like, okay, like I need to start more like cautious. Living more for myself. And so I've been a little bit more social and like more outgoing and stuff, but then even when I am outgoing and stuff, I think I'm still very, very wary of who I let in. Like I have like a couple friends that I met, like Rachel and Jenny, Near Your Nude Skin, and just a couple other like people that I've let into my life, but I think I also always have my guard up. Like the ones that I extend an olive branch to, I'm like, okay, if like you said, Zadie, like if you reciprocate the feeling, you'll get that energy back. But it's like I don't like you said, I don't try to trace it. There's no point.
I feel like because on a day-to-day basis, you kind of do have to live with your guard up all the time.
Yes.
So I feel like your guard, it really is just like up
automatically.
It really just always is
because of your
lifestyle
experiences.
Like I feel like it's not like you subconscious. It's like it's just always up.
I think that speaks to a lot. Like you said, say like my personal experiences. So it's like I am not allowed to be vulnerable because
it's like you're almost trained to be like that.
Yeah, because I have to. You have to. Like the lifestyle that I live. Like if I'm not like that, oh, she got her guard down. She got her guard down.
And then they're gonna sneak in.
Yep,
and you're gonna get hurt.
Yep. So I'm like, nope. I'm like, only certain people have access to it, and those that do,
sad, though.
It's tiring. It's you know, it is tiring.
Because if our lives were like that, then we'd be just exactly like you too. Like, be like,
I would be sad. I would be depressed every day.
But you know, I choose not to be the victim though. Like that's why, like that's why I like nowadays. Like I'm so thankful I have my husband's support because it's like I'm allowed to at least be like
vulnerable around
be
somebody.
who I am, you know, like be who I am without the judgment of others. But that's my take on it. Like the people that I choose to see like who I am behind the wall is really like should be a special thing. That's why I'm like, for me, I always have the wall up because like it's the only way I can protect myself.
Right.
You know, as sad as it is, like I mean, I'm not saying that my past experiences are not bad or whatever comparing to y'all's, but y'all been through shit. Y'all both been through shit. So when I think about it, yes, and like I said, every single time, even though there's a lot of negatives and stuff like that, I'm such a huge like advocate for look at the bright side. Let's look at the positivity. Look at how we can learn from this and make it better, you know? So the fact that you are as strong as you are.
No, literally. Cry.
But then, no, but then like seriously, the fact that you are that strong in order to like, you know, look past that and to really, you know, put your guard up and know who you are as a person still is amazing, because not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? And same with your life too. Granted, everything since y'all been through, that's why I really do look up to y'all. Like, and y'all are moms too. Moms, single mom right here.
Bro, I be forgetting that we moms.
I be forgetting that y'all are moms, bro. That's why.
But that's why I'm like, a lot of people may know us, you know, whether from the podcast or just like from word of mouth or just by acquaintances. But it's like people know us, but they don't know us.
Yes,
that's why you gotta listen.
That's why I'm like, everybody thinks that they have access to us, but they don't. No, we choose to let people see what they see, but they don't know who we are behind doors. Behind closed doors, they don't know who we are. You know, and it's like people may gossip, people may talk, but it's like that's why there's a difference between acquaintances and friends.
And that's how it goes full circle.
Exactly. Because it's important to know who your acquaintances and friends are, because the people that talk about you are your acquaintances. The people that truly know you behind closed doors without you having to say a word are your true friends. And that should be the determining factor, you know?
Yes. I would say Evan, Gabby, and Sydney are my friends because they know. They know. When I had that fucking manic episode, the first person that like I was on FaceTime with Sydney and Gabby, and like Gabby was like gonna come over to my house, and I was like freaking the fuck out.
They were down to drop everything just to come to you.
Exactly.
Those are the type of friends that are, even though they're considered day 2, but they're like forever.
And that's why like every time I do something now, Gabby's like, I just don't want to hear a phone call one of these days. Right? And they're like, if you start bleaching your hair out of nowhere, like,
it's so important to have those close friends though.
Yes, it really is.
Like, you know, without those people, you have hard. Life is hard. Yeah. It's hard enough already.
Exactly.
You know, so it's important that you have people that you can rely on that can feel your vibe and energy without you having to say a word.
Yes,
like those people
to ask for it.
Yes, those people like help.
Like Rachel, when she's like, I don't want to tell you about
my pregnancy.
Isla's birthday, because like people who are considerate like that, like they don't even have to think about it. They just know. Like those people, oh my gosh, are your friends. They're not your acquaintances. Those are your friends. Those are the people you know that you can count on and rely on.
Consider actual friends for real. Yes. Like I think we talked about this on another episode. I can't remember when, but I was talking about how like, growing up I was always with Firstella and Leslie, but then now they've all moved and they have their own lives, and then I became friends with other people, like for example Anna, Shelby, and them, and even Jesus, you know, and Stacy Opaku's always been my cousin, she's a day 1, and then Amy, you know, like those are like those would be considered my day 2s. Because like we met each other whenever we're a lot older now, but then like you said, I know that if I need anything at all and I call them, they would drop everything, they would be there for me, and vice versa, you know. Even though I mean, like you said, don't take the words day 2 too literally, but then it just means
different phases of your life.
And I feel like when you hear the word day 2, like you'll think about people in your life, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, I would consider those my day 2. Like you have love for them, and you know that they are your ride or dies too, but like there's no really literal difference between day 1 and day 2. And it's just like a subcategory, like different phases of your life per se, like Satana said.
And I even mentioned in that old podcast that, you know, that those for the friends that I, you know, befriended in my older life, but then they are now, I will consider them my forever friends. Forever friends, because we're gonna forever be in each other's lives until we're older.
Period.
You know,
in a nursing home. with each other
and old and frail,
fucking shit up in the nursing home.
All right, y'all ready to wipe my ass?
I just took a shit.
As always, we upload every Monday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find us at 116th Hotline on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am.
Every time she gets that all in a row without pausing, I'm like,
absolutely. So stay tuned. We hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you have extra comments, let us know down
just
below.
Comment and let us just think about it. Like, I think that what I want you guys to think about is like day ones, day twos, and friends and acquaintances. I feel like that's like something I want you guys to think about.
And if you agree with what we said, or if you have different insights on it,
message us.
I'm curious.
No, I'm curious to know.
Comment, tag us, and if you have photos of your day ones or your day twos, tag us in those. Like, let us know who are your people. We want to know.
We'll be more than happy to shout you out and like post.
I'm nosy. We're nosy, so we want to see who your day ones, who your day twos, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week for a new episode.
Stay tuned.
Bye.